Alright guys, TacticalRab again today. I hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. Big drama going down last night. Pred seemingly confirming that Cellium indeed is going to be joining the Falcons, and some further rumours to exactly what they paid him to make him join that team instead of going to the Thieves. And talking of the Thieves, Kenny, potentially their new AR player alongside Scrap, getting into a bit of drama with some VOD review action over the last couple of days. Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's dive right in, starting with the following CDL earnings in 2025. And the total of the organisation in the history of the Call of Duty League. The all-time in the CDL, that goes to FaZe, should be no real surprise. $6.6 million they have won as an organisation over the last few years. Now, it's interesting to think about where that money goes. Obviously, it goes to the org. Well, then it goes to the players, you would think. Now, different organisations have different approaches here. The organisations will take a cut of that winning. Now, some organisations will take more than others. I think there might be rules in place as to exactly how much of a cut they're allowed to take. But the orgs have to make money somewhere or another. So people are like, oh, well, the player just made 300k for winning this tournament. And it's like, well, okay, for example, the World Cup, what was the winning team made? Did they make 600k, so like 150k each, something like that? I think the World Championship was 800k for first place. So you look at, okay, 4 players, $800,000 first place prize. That was $200,000 each. But, okay, what does the coach get? Does the coach get a cut of that, $800,000? What cut does the organisation take of that? It might be 20% or so. Then you've got to consider taxes on top of that, and the taxes vary depending on where the tournament is held and where the team is also based, I think, as well. So, look, this is the total gross figure. The actual net figure into the players' pockets looks rather different, but still, FaZe lead the way. $6.5 million earned over the last several years of the CDL. Of course, some of these orgs haven't been around all that long. Thieves were not here in the first year of the league, for example. So that's how it looks. But OpTic, $4.6 million total. They're in second place, and understandably, Toronto have actually done very well as well. I mean, they've made nearly $4 million in prize money, despite not having won a world championship over the last few years. They've come close on some occasions and have won plenty of other events along the way as well. This year, though, they only made $410,000, so they were joint 6th with Miami Heretics. Boston, because of their great result at Champs, actually made $430k this year, which is pretty big for them. And as an organisation, it honestly, I didn't really think about this until now, but it honestly might be a reason to some degree why Boston are staying around. I think the decision for Boston to stay in the league and not to sell was probably made a long time ago. They felt like this season was going to be at least, break even maybe for them, given they're probably paying lower salaries than they had done before and making more money, we think, from skin sales and stuff in the game. But let's say the org takes a 20% cut at 430k that they, whatever they won, then it's pretty solid, right, in terms of paying for some of those salaries for the season. FaZe won a bit more than that. Thieves won a bit more than that. Surge was second on this season, making nearly $1 million, which is pretty wild given they didn't win anything. Thieves and FaZe won 2 events each, and Surge still made nearly double what they made. But in CDL history, things are a little different. And then OpTic, of course, this year made the lion's share of the winnings. If you look further down, of course, Gentlemates have just turned up. Falcons have just turned up as well. Their total is not what they made this year because they also competed at the Esports World Cup last season and, didn't do especially well. Now, there was a bit of drama yesterday because Kenny and Sib were getting into it with, BenJ and others, right? Now, I totally understand. If you're a pro player and you hear a non-pro player talking about your gameplay, the way that you're approaching a situation, or just giving opinions in general, it's understandable that you'd be like, well, look, you didn't play the game, so I'm not going to I don't need to listen to what you had to say. Not to say that people who haven't played competitively can't have some idea what they're talking about. Of course, they're not going to know what it's like to be in that situation, but it doesn't mean that they can't necessarily analyze or understand the game, at least in some level. So you guys might be aware of this guy, Burrito, who does these gameplay analyses. And look, I've got no issue with this guy. I'm always in favor of people making content around competitive Call of Duty. If you're passionate about playing and watching and enjoying competitive COD, That's absolutely a great thing for the scene. So I definitely support what this guy's doing. At the early days of this channel, back in Black Ops 4, I used to throw some gameplay breakdowns on here, and I had a good time doing it. Maybe I was waffling complete bollocks, I don't know. Like, if I go back and watch those videos, they're still on the channel, like, see if I had any idea what I was talking about, I guess. But even then, like, it was still good fun to do. It was, you know, maybe it added some sort of... Some people liked it, right? Some people enjoyed it, and maybe it added some value to the scene. The videos didn't do as well as when we were talking about drama. This player talks trash on this player, whatever. So obviously we pivoted to some extent, but still, like, this is how the channel started. Really, in this case, was doing some gameplay breakdown stuff. And I never played professionally. I don't really know what I'm yapping about on some level, but like, COD isn't maybe rocket science. So there was some drama about this. At the end of the day, the pros find this funny, so it's good content, right? But also, you might argue, oh, well, the pros being insecure, like, who really cares what a non-pro has to say? Why do they feel like it's so deep? But anyway, I'll share the clip and then we'll see his response.
This is what I knew.
That is the worst timing ever.
Timing?
Motherfucker, you was aiming that shit before he had turned the corner. You're talking about timing? I don't think this nigga's circle button is working properly.
Bro, nice.
Yeah.
Talk about bad timing.
This a nigga who
See, make
analyzed
sure
the
I'm-
gameplay. I must have been getting all bad timers, chat. That's bad timing. My whole year must have been bad timing. I'm getting walked down. My whole year bad timing. I know.
So serious, but his takes are, he's dead ass.
What the fuck?
Like, I really, chat. I don't think
Am I on
that he's saying these things to clip farm. I promise you, I don't think
No,
the way
he
he
died.
was talking, he is dead ass.
Bro, this the motherfucker.
Yo, last one behind me. I'm a.
Guys on the hill, got them all.
He almost killed himself.
They're all gonna start fucking spawning on you.
He ain't rage baiting, bro. That's the sad part. That's what I'm saying, but that is so sad. I'm not even gonna lie. That is.
Yo,
He's in a burning hole.
he's in a burning hole. He's in a burning hole.
Yo, if this nigga is a god at Apex, nigga, put me on that hoe. Hey, yo, if he is a god at Apex, put me on that hoe.
So he came up with a response to this actually and said, "We've got nothing but respect or admiration for any person, athlete, gamer, frisbee thrower at the top of their profession," and goes on to talk about some of the greatest minds who like have never played or, you know, have played but maybe not at the highest level. And you know, like, it's kind of funny, right? Because he says me, and then he goes Jose Mourinho, Greg Popovich, right, and then lists off another like several great names in their respective domains. So yeah, hell yeah, throw yourself in the mix, why not? Anyway, this was his response. I thought it was rather entertaining, and obviously Ben J gets cooked for stuff like this as well. The community are going to have their opinions on it one way or the other. Enter into your thoughts as ever in the comment section below. Let's talk though about the Falcons, because this is the new game. Black Ops 7 is coming out. Clay's pretty happy about it. He sees the wall bouncing and he's like, damn, I might need to come back. Clay says, I might actually have to play this. What the hell? Need to get back in business. Falcons then say, we are so back. If you guys aren't aware of the Clayster lore, then well, Clayster fell off the map quite a few times back in the day. Certainly in BO3 he had some notable ones, and you know, Clayster falling off the map montage. We are so back, say the Falcons. Now this I thought was pretty interesting. Obviously, method is just saying numbers here, as people often do, but Clay says might have to play this, and he says, damn, you could have had yourself for 50. So basically saying, damn, you could have brought yourself back into the starting team as the AR, right? Pred, Xnid, Clayster, and I mean, I don't know, Kismet we think is going to be their fourth, but maybe you don't need Cellium, right? Bring Clay back in. There were some theories about this. I mean, it was never really going to happen, but when Clayster retired and then he got this coaching gig, there was some talk as to, oh, is Clay going to play the long game here? Is he going to find a way to, you know, finesse his way back onto the roster? And I didn't think that was ever necessarily going to happen, but I think you know what I mean. So Zinni says, you could have played for the minimum, right? Like, you could have put yourself on a minimum salary and played for the Falcons, but instead you're paying Cell, you know, 7 figures to make that work. Now, Cellium, we think, was a free agent. They didn't have to pay a buyout to get Cellium off FaZe. We don't know what he's getting paid exactly. The rumor is it's probably similar to what Pred's getting paid, which we think is 450, 500 a year, something like that. It could be more. I know that some have speculated that it could be for Cellium up to $600,000-700,000 for the year. I don't know if they're really going to be paying him that much. I certainly don't expect that it's 7 figures. But yeah, true to your thoughts in the comments. The other thing is, you know, is this actually happening? Are we sure that it's happening, right? Is Cellium to Falcons actually going to be a thing? Now, Pred yesterday, happy birthday, he turned 24. Now, he does 24 and the snake emoji. So I'm like, is he, is he trying to say something about Cellium, right? King Cobra and all this? Is he making a bit of a statement there? I don't know. Intrigued to your thoughts. The other thing I thought was pretty cool was Nick Kyrgios. If you guys know, like, legendary tennis player for, well, let's just say controversial tennis player, very talented. Maybe a player who didn't achieve as much as he could have with the talent that he had, but you guys are definitely going to know more about tennis than me in the comments below and give a much more informed opinion. But I thought it was interesting, right? Because Australian tennis player, Pred, of course, Aussie, and I thought it was, I don't know, a bit of a crossover that I wasn't necessarily expecting. But Pred's also been playing on stream some, Aussie ranked play and stuff like this, playing some BO6 and enjoyed himself. And he's run into a few interesting characters as usual in these games. And he can hear the guys on the other team are saying, damn, this guy's absolutely cooking. He plays for the Falcons. And next year he's going to have Cellium on his team. And Pred, far from denying this, basically confirms it.
Yo, this is actually too funny, chat.
Mashallah.
Bro, it's not real. What the?
He's actually he's fucking gross, bro. He's actually gross.
Watch him fucking play. Holy fuck.
Honestly, bro, you should watch him in the league. He plays for the Falcons. He's actually gross.
What?
He's gonna be playing with Cell this season as well. Yeah, bro, straight up. He used to play golf, he's playing for the Falcons this year, and he's gonna be playing with Cell. He's gonna be gross.
This guy know everything or what?
He's gonna be crazy.
What's this guy saying?
Wall, but Falcons are gonna be crazy this year.
Yo, this guy's actually fucking comedy, bro. Who is this guy?
Oh, my gun's not gunning.
Gun's not gunning.
So presumably only a matter of time until this gets officially locked in. Excited to see what that team is capable of next season, although there are certainly some pros and some cons, I think, to the way that that team has been built. And of course, some of their options, maybe not the first players they would have liked to have got. But BO7 is coming soon. Octane says, I'm full coping. COD is so back. Formal actually said, is dynamic aim assist in BO7? As you guys definitely make clear to me in the comments, it's the dynamic aim response curve, which we're really talking about here. But still, fundamentally, you know what I'm talking about. The other thing, just to close out with here, speaking of formal, 7 players in COD history, according to Brian Stats, have won multiple championships in 5 different COD titles or more. And this is a pretty good stat, really, because it's actually a pretty good list of just the best players, really. Like, this correlates quite highly to the actual top 10 list, let's say, of all time. So Scump won multiple championships in 6 different games. He won more than 1 in Black Ops 1, more than 1 in Modern Warfare 3, more than 1 in AW to Infinite Warfare, more than 1 in Modern Warfare 19. Now, Modern Warfare 19, you could argue, was a bit of a fraudulent season, but it is what it is. We're still going to count it. Kremp won BO2 to Infinite Warfare, and then MW19. Karma won won multiple in 5 consecutive. Of course, years like Advanced Warfare or MW19, if you count the home series, there were lots of events. So I think, this number could be skewed a little bit, but cool to see Formal on there from Ghost. He came in at the end of Ghost and did such a killer job that he got picked up to OpTic. Then, of course, he retired after the Cold War season. But, Scump, Kremp, Karma, Formal, Clay, Simp, aBeZy, definitely players that are right up there. Next on the list would be Kenny, Cell, Octane, and JCab at 4, and there's players at 3 with Shotzzy, Drazah, Envoy, Slasher, Priester, and Arcetes. But, Shotzzy, now he's got his 3 rings. He may not have won more than 1 title or more than 1 championship in that many different titles, but it doesn't mean that if you're doing a list of all time, then Shotzzy shouldn't be right up there, of course. So very much intrigued to your thoughts on all of this stuff in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.
Oi, get on fucking hill, Pred. You kill whore.
Shut your fucking mouth, stop speaking to me, you butt. You're spooky, what's good, buddy?
What? You got fucking dropped, buddy.
Look at it. If I had a fucking head like yours, I wouldn't speak, brother. Shut your fucking mouth.
Oh, here we go. Here we fucking go.
Yo, oh, this shit dog is too good, Chad. It's actually too good. It's not built for that.